This website called YouTube has existed for so many years now, to the point to where it's pretty much older than a lot of the people watching this video. And throughout all that time, it has changed, and the looks of the website itself has also gone through so many drastic changes. But almost entirely through that period of transformation and the period of change, one thing has stayed the same: the seemingly useless function of the YouTube dislike button next to every single comment you see. It seems like such an arbitrary thing. You see it every single day you come on YouTube, whether you think about it or not. Every single time you just see or read a single comment under any single video, you will see this button. However, whether you click it or not, it doesn't really make a difference. Now, you may have thought once in a while about what exactly the meaning behind this one small button is, and if you have, you're just like a lot of other people. And you could quite simply argue that all it's for is just to simply downvote a comment if you don't like it to make it show up less for other people. But truth be told, there's a lot more secrets to it than that. And there's a lot to uncover about the history of this seemingly useless little button that no one seems to pay attention to. We can even dive into the code of YouTube itself to see specifically what this whole thing is about and what it does entirely. This is the secret meaning behind the YouTube comment dislike button. I want to bring attention to this because honestly, do you just think about this from a day-to-day basis? Do you think about what the purpose of the YouTube comment dislike button does or what it's for? You probably don't, but it's always there, and it's always been there. Now, usually what happens if you're just a passive YouTube viewer that just clicks on video after video, whether you watch 5-minute crafts, prank videos, or whatever type of genre that you like, you most likely have at one point in time, or maybe you're in the middle of doing it right now, sequenced through a bunch of YouTube videos that were either recommended to you or based off of your searching in the YouTube algorithm. And if you do like a video because it leaves a positive impression on you, you'll usually just click that little thumb button, which is something you should definitely do with this video. And while you're at it, you might as well just go ahead and completely annihilate the subscribe button a couple inches to the left of that because, well, we make content like this on a day-to-day basis, so yeah, it's worth it. But back to what I was saying. If you don't like a video for whatever reason, like maybe perhaps you just accidentally stumbled across T-Series' YouTube channel, or you just happen to be watching the YouTube 2018 Rewind, you will usually just leave a dislike to signify the fact that you don't appreciate this content or whatever it was that was said in the video. But what happens in the comments section? What happens if you don't agree with what people say in the comments? Can you just simply dislike their comment into oblivion? YouTube is somewhat like a social media site in the way that they go ahead and categorize what people want to watch based off of the user engagements and ratings. However, at the same time, it's entirely different from what you would imagine a normal social media website to be like. It is entirely more or less and should be considered a platform of which videos exist simply to be watched. And over time, YouTube has tried to add more things to pretty much imitate other social media websites such as Snapchat. There is a such thing as YouTube Stories. I'm not even sure if anyone remembers that. And Google Plus was actually a thing at some point. But overall, it will be very hard to separate YouTube from the fact that it is simply unique from all other social media websites. The only place on here where it comes close to being a social media environment is none other than the comment sections. Which is why we have these elemental comment section layouts. You can upvote a comment if you like it, and you can dislike a comment if you don't like it. But wait, no you can't. That's where the mystery comes in. If you tried simply looking up the entire purpose or what the dislike button on comments do, you will find nothing but vague answers given by Google employees and simple people trying to make up answers saying that all it does is just lower the comment down in the comment section. But even these explanations don't really have anything worthy to them. Any given snapshot of YouTube's history or past, you can go to any comment section and see the same thing, with the same seemingly defective button right next to the likes. You can click on it, interact with it, you could refresh the page, and nothing will change. It will literally stay the same. Some instances even report that your dislike will be removed the instant that you refresh the page. So why is it even there? Is there a secret behind it? Is there something that we all just don't know about this one tiny thing? Or is it truly the YouTube's most useless feature? Well, in order to find out, I had to literally go into YouTube's code and see for myself what exactly the purpose of it was. And what I found was actually more surprising than not. It was extremely surprising to see how the comment dislike function had changed over YouTube's history, even though it seemingly had stayed the same to everyone looking at it from an outside view. And its current functions were far more complicated than you would ever think of a tiny little downwards thumb. The first thing to note is it definitely does not work as in a Reddit comment page would work, where you would dislike or quote-unquote downvote the comments and or posts, and it would show up as having less points. From what I can find and what everyone else could observe, literally nothing happens when you click the comment dislike button. That's what you would think, but when you actually dive into the code of the functions of the comment like and dislike buttons themselves, there's a lot more to see going on. The code to operate the comment dislikes and or the function that basically keeps track of how many people that dislike a certain comment isn't its own separate thing. As we could see with the YouTube likes, there is their own separate script that basically sets in place how the YouTube like button looks like and also other properties of it. However, the way YouTube comment dislikes affect the comment itself and the comment section in general is built into the code of the YouTube comment section itself, meaning YouTube has set in place its own secret algorithm to the way they rank comments in a video. And the comment dislike button, aka the thing that supposedly does nothing, has a very big role in the way it affects that certain algorithm. Now, of course, you can't just learn everything by looking at a bunch of random numbers and HTML elements, but you could theoretically learn exactly how to get a top comment every single time by simply reading into this one script. However, it's extremely unlikely as the YouTube algorithm changes almost on a daily basis. And we can see that there is a built-in function for what happens after you dislike a YouTube comment. Something that where it won't actually negatively affect the one comment in particular, but will actually affect the entire comment section as a whole. So theoretically, by disliking one single YouTube comment, you can somehow resort the entire way each comment in that certain comment section is arranged. But the one thing that was extremely surprising was, if we go back in time, we could see that this one code has stayed the same ever since Google Plus was incorporated into YouTube. But before then, everything was completely different. Comment dislikes actually served a unique purpose for that one comment, and acted more or less such as the Reddit comment section would, being an upvote/downvote type of operation, meaning that ever since YouTube introduced Google Plus to be a mandatory option, they basically overwrote every single thing about the comment section, and then when Google Plus was finally deleted, they just pretty much left the code to sit there and do nothing, which is quite an interesting phenomenon if you ask me. So does the YouTube comment dislike serve no purpose? Well, as we saw, it's a good way to actually be able to rearrange the entire comment section because it influences the algorithm to change up the way they show the comments based off of users' opinions. But as for does it affect any certain comments? Pretty much no. So the answer is kind of a yes and no, but the YouTube comment dislike definitely has a pretty decent secret history and deeper meaning behind it than what I'm sure we were expecting. So I guess if you're ever just traveling through one of the YouTube comment sections and then you just think to yourself, I don't like what I'm seeing here, just dislike a couple of the comments and YouTube will rearrange the entire thing for you later on. So thanks for watching, and I hope that this taught you something and you were at least a little bit entertained by this, because I know my hacking skills were definitely quite entertaining to me. And I'll see all of you guys in the next video.